If you ask any parent about their worst nightmare, they will reply without hesitation that it is losing their child. This pain never fades, and no parent should ever face such a terrible tragedy. My wife was gone, my daughter was gone, and I wasn't sure how my sons would survive. Unfortunately, it does occur sometimes. Death doesn't care about success or wealth. It simply comes and takes the most vital person in someone's life. Today, we examine celebrities who lost their children in heartbreaking ways. Keanu Reeves. Keanu, often called the most humble man in Hollywood, has endured multiple personal tragedies. One was the loss of his child. In the late 1990s, Keanu met Jennifer. The pair fell in love right away, and soon Jennifer was pregnant with their first daughter. Tragically, the baby they awaited so eagerly was stillborn after 8 months. The grief strained their relationship, reportedly leading to their split weeks later. In 2001, Jennifer died in a car crash. Years later, in an interview with Parade magazine about her death, Keanu admitted, "They're wrong. When the people you love are gone, you're alone." Mike Tyson. It occurred in 2009. Mike Tyson's daughter was calmly playing on a treadmill at her Phoenix home when she suddenly got entangled in a cord. Her older brother found little Exodus with her neck caught in a cable under the machine's console and immediately told their mom. All efforts to save the girl failed. Iron Mike, seen as one of the toughest people alive, couldn't and still can't talk about his daughter's tragic death without tears. He admitted to using cocaine for a week after she passed. That interview made history when Tyson, suddenly overwhelmed by emotions, asked the reporter to leave without warning.
"You have to go. Now, you understand, right? Thank you."
Because no amount of time heals the pain of losing a child. Sylvester Stallone. When a parent loses a child, there's no deeper pain. This devastating loss lingers forever. Sage was his first child, and, as the actor described, the center of his world. The 36-year-old Sage was discovered dead by a housekeeper in his Los Angeles apartment. The young Stallone, who was reportedly engaged, succumbed to a heart attack. In his first public appearance after the tragedy, the actor remained composed, calling it a horrible situation for everyone, but hoping time would mend the wounds. Sylvester and Sage had a rocky period in their relationship after the divorce from the boy's mother. But years later, Stallone rebuilt it, only to lose his son once more. Eric Clapton. Connor was 4 years old in March 1991 when Eric Clapton went to a New York apartment to pick up the boy from his mother, who had custody. It was the first time the iconic musician had taken his son out alone. The birth of his son and his wish to be a good dad actually helped Clapton achieve sobriety again. He was truly the main reason I returned to treatment. That day marked a new step for him as a father. The next morning, as Clapton was set to arrive for another outing with Connor, disaster happened. The young boy fell from an open window on the 53rd floor. Just 2 days before his 46th birthday, Clapton bid farewell to his son at the funeral. The musician channeled his sorrow over the loss into the song "Tears in Heaven," which was featured on his Unplugged album. John Travolta. 16-year-old Jet Travolta was at the family's vacation home in the Bahamas when tragedy hit. The teen, diagnosed early with a rare syndrome, suffered a seizure and struck his head on the bathtub. Revival attempts were in vain. Heartbroken, John Travolta called his son's death the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. According to the Saturday Night Fever actor, the Church of Scientology aided the family in coping. In a later update, more than a decade after the boy's death, Travolta and his wife, actress Kelly Preston, who passed away from breast cancer in 2020, shared tributes on social media for what would have been Jet's 28th birthday. Pierce Brosnan, handsome, skilled, renowned, with a wonderful family. When that last element shatters, the rest loses meaning. This is what unfolded in Pierce Brosnan's life. He faced the first of several heart-wrenching losses when his first wife, Cassandra Harris, died from ovarian cancer. Years later, in a cruel twist, Charlotte, Pierce's adopted daughter, passed away at 41 from the same cancer that claimed her mother. Charlotte, a mother of 2, died shortly after marrying her partner. Devastated by the repeated horror, Brosnan soon confronted another harsh reality with his adopted son, Chris. After years of trying to help Chris, who turned to cocaine and heroin after his mom's death, the actor had to step back. Occasionally, headlines still label Chris as Pierce Brosnan's estranged son. Though the James Bond star is private about emotions, He openly shares how tough it was to cut ties, but he saw no alternative. "I had to say, go, get busy living, or get busy dying. He has my prayers." Bobby Brown, the daughter of singers Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, was found face down and unresponsive in a bathtub in January 2015. The 22-year-old spent 6 months in a coma before dying. Bobby Christina Brown's family accused her partner, Nick Gordon, of giving her a toxic cocktail. Gordon died 5 years later at age 30 from a drug overdose. Brown, reflecting on his daughter's death, said his family prayed for 6 months for her to wake from the coma, but it never happened. He added, "But when God calls you, He calls you." The singer made a somber joke about the late Whitney Houston. "Her mother wasn't comfortable by herself, I guess. She just called my daughter with her." Prince. The child of the renowned musician was born in 1996 with a rare genetic condition called Pfeiffer syndrome and needed a ventilator to breathe. The boy sadly died 6 days after birth. In her memoir, The Most Beautiful, My Life with Prince, his ex-wife, dancer Maite Garcia, wrote, "They brought the baby over to us. He was curled on his side, gasping shallow little gulps of air. Because there were no lids to blink, his eyes looked startled and dry. I caught hold of his tiny hand, saying over and over, 'Mama loves you. Mama's here.' He lived for a week. It's hard to have that life inside of you and it not continue." Still really hard. She also shared in an interview that Prince may never have fully recovered from the grief. Tragically, in 2016, the musician died at 57 from an accidental drug overdose. Robert Plant. The musician's son died from a stomach virus in 1977. He was only 5. His condition deteriorated within 24 hours of diagnosis. His mother called an ambulance, but it was too late. He passed on the way to the hospital. Robert said 1977 was the year it all stopped for me. Nothing could make it all right again, and nothing ever will. Gradually, with family support, he kept going, day by day. He later dedicated songs to his late son. Discussing the family tragedy recently, Plant noted that "All My Love" was just paying tribute to the joy that he gave us as a family, and in a crazy way, still does occasionally. Bill Cosby. Comedian Bill Cosby, who served a prison term for aggravated indecent assault and was released in 2021 after his conviction was overturned, lost 2 children, his son Ennis and daughter Ensa. Ennis was shot in the head in 1997 in Los Angeles during a winter break from Columbia University classes. An 18-year-old man was soon convicted of first-degree murder and attempted robbery. He received a life sentence. The Cosby family got widespread support, with strangers leaving flowers at the crime scene. Then-President Bill Clinton called Bill Cosby personally to express condolences. 20 years later, the comedian's daughter died from renal disease at age 44. In her final years, Ensa defended her father amid his sexual assault scandal. She stated, "The man portrayed in the media today is not who my father is. The accusations against my father have been one-sided since the beginning." She was reportedly buried beside her brother Ennis, Joe Biden. The 47th Vice President of the USA, and later the 46th President, has endured multiple tragic family deaths. In 1972, Biden's wife and their 1-year-old daughter died in a car accident. Nelia was driving with their 3 kids when a tractor-trailer struck their vehicle. Sons Hunter and Bo had minor injuries, but Nelia and Naomi didn't survive. In 2015, Biden lost Bo to brain cancer.